Okay, so today we are going to start our chapter number 2, that is method study. So last lecture we have taken one review, not review I can say, but whatever the last session was there, in that we have gone through that work study concept. And that work study concept is again having, or it is including the method study and work measurement, and these are our further chapters. Okay, so here in method study, last time just we have taken some introductory part about method study. Just we have gone through definition and little bit objectives, etc. Here we will discuss the method study in detail, different types of charts, different symbols, okay, how the calculation was made. So like this, this particular chapter will be there. Okay, so let's start this. Today we are going to learn this second chapter, method study. Last lecture, at the end of first chapter, we are just seen the introductory part of this method study. Today in detail we will start this particular method study chapter, where we can use different charts and how we can reduce, or how we can reduce the ideal time, or how we can modify the process. That particular part we are going to learn today. Then this is the particular syllabus of method study. This is the unit syllabus: definition, objectives, scope of method study, basic procedure and symbols. So which symbols we are using, whether job is in operation, job is in delay, job is in transportation, how it can be shown. That we are going to learn here. Symbols, recording of facts, how the things are recorded, charting conversions, chart operation process chart, flow process chart, multiple activity chart, two-handed chart. So these are we are going to study how these different charts are used in organization or industry to increase the productivity. Diagrams, flow and sting diagram, travel chart, template, models, micro motion study, Thurling, SIMO chart, critical examination and selection, implementation method. So if you look at two syllabus, you will find that different types of charts, different diagrams and motion study is we will complete, or we will cover in this second chapter. Then our first point, what is the definition and objectives of this method study? Okay, so first part is definition, objective, scope. So that particular part we will start. So already we have gone through this method study. It is the part of work study. Work study is the, we can call it as a larger content. In that work study, method study is there and work measurement is there. Okay, so out of that we have just we will learn method study. The aim of method study is eliminate the unnecessary operation and achieve the best method for operation. So here in one sentence or within 4 words, the purpose of method study is given. That first important part is that eliminate unnecessary operations. If you look at to the production point, if I start to work on this particular product, then there is a start time, and when it is reached to the end, that will be end time. Between start time and end time, let's take at morning 9 o'clock, I have started the product. Okay, I have started my job, and at 4 o'clock I have finished my job, or at 5 o'clock I have finished my job. Between 9 to 5, how much unnecessary operations I have made, and how much necessary or useful operations I have made, or any worker has done. So we are keeping the record of this particular point. And if it is found that out of this 9 to 5, whatever this 8-hour shift is there, in this 8 hour, worker has worked for only 5 hours, and 3 hours is the non-productive time, or 3 hours are required for unnecessary operations. Then while improving the productivity, so what is meant by productivity? Last lecture we have seen. So it doesn't mean that improvement in the production means increase in the productivity. Is it right? So what input you are taken and what output you are given, so based on that, that particular productivity concept is there. All of you are knowing this particular concept very well. Here our aim is that if increase the productivity or increase the production number with eliminating the unnecessary time, or we can call it as the ideal time in the particular production. That is very, very important. Why? Because if you see whatever example we have taken, 8 hours, if the person is working for only 5 hours and 3 hours is the non-productive time, then whether in that 3 hours we can increase the number of productions. Let's consider that in 8-hour shift he has produced 50 products, but the capacity of that worker or that machine is that in 80 hours it can be produced 80 products, but whatever the time required for that 30 products, it becomes unnecessary. So whether it is unnecessary time, whether it is unnecessary operations, and can we eliminate that unnecessary operations? Can we save that unproductive time, or can we convert that unproductive time to the productive way, so that whatever the method is there, that method will become the best method for operation, and at the same time the production will be increased. So that is the focus of method study. Eliminate the unnecessary operation and achieve the best method. In second way, it is used for the collection of various techniques which are used to improve the effectiveness of man, machine, and its system. So this method study is not done only for man, it is also for machine. Okay, man, machine, and its systems. So transportation system may be there, job flow from one point to another point may be there. Is it right? So overall techniques we are considering here, collection of various techniques, analysis of that techniques, and after that analysis we are going for improvement in the effectiveness, improvement in the productivity. Okay, somebody may think that how that particular machine effectiveness will be there. Some machines are there which after 2 hours they may require some we can call it as the shutdown time, or then machines maybe get hot, so we require certain time to give them. So when you are traveling on two-wheeler for long distance, you might be knowing after 100 kilometer or 120 kilometer we are taking the stop. Let's that machine of two-wheeler maybe little bit some cool out. Is it right? So like this, the machines are, if they are working continuously, the damage may be there, but it doesn't mean that machine should work only for 50% time or 20% time. So we have to take the mean in between these two, that man, machine, and whatever the system is developed or whatever system is running, that system should run effectively with their best method approach. Whatever the unproductive time is there, whatever the uh, ideal time is there, it is reduced, and effective time, productive time can be increased, and at the end, the production can be increased. So this is the focus of this method study, also called work design or method engineering. So method study, for these two names are there. One is work design and method engineering. Okay, by the British standard, it is defined as, so this is the definition of method study by British standard: recording and examination of existing process means developing and applying more easier economical method by reducing the cost. So what method study does? Okay, so that is very well defined here in British standards. Recording and examination of existing process. So already we are knowing that from last lecture we are looking that yes, whenever there is existing process, then we can go for recording of that existing process, and not only recording but examination of that existing process. Okay, so we have to examine that particular process, where the time delay is there, where the ideal time is there, how we can reduce it. That means developing and applying more easier or economical method. So it means, or it indicates that it is the studying of the previous process in nothing but application of new process. In a simple language, if I want to give the example, then you are studying daily, let's say you are studying for 2 hours or 3 hours. But from that 2 or 3 hours, how much effective study you have made? If student point of view, if I am talking, hardly 1 hour or 1.5 hours. For that time we are making study. But remaining half an hour, remaining 1 hour, what we are doing? We are just doing unproductive works. So if we reduce that unproductive works, definitely the study will be good. Similarly in industry, whatever the unproductive time is there, if it is reduced, definitely working time will be increased. So how to do this recording, examination of existing process, and how to develop the new process? For that, different techniques are there. Different flowcharts are used. Different diagrams are used. And that we are going to study. And by doing this, what is the purpose of doing this? Because after doing this, your production will be increased, economical methods, you are going to apply that economical methods, and because of that economical considerations, the cost of the product will be reduced, and when the manufacturing cost is reduced, it can be sold in huge number and you can earn a good profit. So if you look at to industrial point of view, industry is having always main aim that the profit should be increased. Profit should be increased, but at the same time, whatever the previous processes are there, they want to develop that particular processes. And how they are doing, let's go to this. These are the objectives of method study. That means objective means what you want to achieve. So first objective is definitely elimination of excess work content. So this is again point, unproductive time or unnecessary time. Elimination of excess work content. Excess work content means what? More work is given. Okay, or simple, if I am standing on one machine and I require, let's say, 12, 13 spanner, then that spanner should be there in the toolkit of that machine only. It is not like that I should go to the next machine or I should go to the another machine, ask him to give me the spanner, take the spanner, come back to my machine, tight the bolt, again go back, give it, chit chat for 2 minutes, and again I will come back to my machine. So these are called excess work content. Okay, so this is, we can call it as unproductive time, unnecessary operations. If spanner is with you, then you can search from your toolkit, take it, tighten the screw and put it, and immediately start the machine. So here, whatever the going and chit chatting and what other time is there, that is stopped. Work content, more work is given, more operations are given. So that particular part is also stopped. That particular part is also eliminated. Because for one machine only one operation is specified. Only one operation is given. And because of that, the machine is working very nice. Because if say, let's say two operations are given, then we have to set the machine for one operation. After completing the first operation, again we have to set the machine for second operation. Setting, all of your know, machine setting is there. What speed depth of cut we should take, we have to tighten certain screws, we have to loosen certain screws, etc. So such a time will be get reduced. Analyze the data of the production ongoing. So you can analyze the data at what part they are particularly operations are going on. Means let's say turning operations. For from 2 hours, these many turning jobs are prepared. But for drilling, there is a little bit time is required. And drilling of machines are not producing that much products which are produced by turning. So number of data for 60 minutes, 10 jobs are produced, for 60 minutes, 20 jobs are produced. But for drilling machine, for same 60 minutes, 5 jobs are produced like this. So such a data we can analyze very easily. Okay, so why this data analysis is very important? Because it tells you the condition of production, condition of operation, what operation required to increase the speed, what operation we require to little bit go slowly. Because whatever the operations are there in the industry, they are in chain. It is not like that only one operation is done and job is ready. Is it right? So that data analysis is important. Yesterday, how many products we have produced? Last week, how many products we have produced? After making maintenance, small setup in the machine, how the data production is increased. After 15 days maintenance, what will be the production effect? So like this data is there and we can analyze it and we can put this data for production increment. Develop the better methods of doing operations. This is again one more objective, that we can develop the better method. Better method means better compared to existing methods. Because in existing methods, certain, we can say, problems may be there, certain loopholes may be there. Is it right? Certain difficulties may be there. So that difficulties can be overcome. And when that difficulties are removed or the difficulties are overcome, then we can able to develop the better process, better method. Next one is to reduce the monotony of the work. Monotony of the work. Monotony means one machine is doing just a one job, or this machine is specially used for this job. Okay, So that rotation policy we can use. Smoothness of the material flow with minimum bar. So smoothness of material flow. Material flow means from one machine, job is going to the next machine. Is it right? So that is called the smoothness of material flow. Let's take the example of very simple. The formation of, we can call it as the nut and screw. Okay. So what parts, what shape, what is the shape of the screw, and what is the, sorry, nut and bolt we can call it as. What is the shape of the nut and what is the shape of the bolt? If I want to go for drawing, so this is the simple particular shape of the nut. Is it right? Let's talk about, this is the bolt and this is the nut. Is it right? It is having hole, and this is the threaded part. On this particular body, the threads are there, and here some internal threads are there. Is it right? So like this, the particular part is the nut and bolt is there. So how I can produce this nut and bolts? So what type of nut is there? What type of bolt is there? Whether this particular head is square headed or this is again a hexagonal headed. Whatever this particular bolt is there, whether it is a square nut or we can call it as the hexagonal headed nut, etc. So, and for this, if I'm using 2-3 machines, so just take a 2 minutes time and just tell me which operations we require to carry out for this particular nut and bolt formation. I want answer from your side. Which operations we are doing for this formation of nut and bolt? Which operations we are doing for this nut and bolt?
Sir, more operation we are doing like drilling, turning, pacing,
Yeah.
threading,
Yeah.
shaping, more and more.
More and more. Is that first operation you have forgotten here also? That is cutting the required length. Cutting operation. Because whatever this length is there, whatever this total length is there of this nut bolt, maybe let's say I can say 10 mm. So you require to cut the particular 11 mm piece length, 11 mm long piece from the long bar. So that is also a required part is there. So first is the cutting operation, then go for pacing, then turning, then step turning, then threading, then for nut preparation, you have to go for drilling, then threading, internal threading, external threading, like this. So these all operations in what sequence? Whether these all operations can be produced on single machine?
No, sir.
So you require to flow the material from one machine to another machine. Let's say cutting of the raw material. Cutting can be possible with the help of hacksaw machine. Then from hacksaw machine, material is required to transport to the lathe machine. On lathe machine, you can do 2-3 operations. Then you are knowing in my manufacturing technology, you might be studied that we have to require to set the machine for the thread cutting operations. Is it right? So thread cutting, if it is that on that machine it is not possible, you are required to go for next machine for external threads. Similarly, from another hacksaw, you are cutting the materials for nuts. This is what I am talking about bolt. For nuts, you are taking the another small, whatever the nut thickness is there, let's say 5 mm or 7 mm. That much cut material you are required to take. You have to require to go to the drilling operation. First, you have to make the drills, then internal threading, Meanwhile, external threading on bolt will be there, and then you can go and make the assembly of this nut and bolt. So whatever I'm talking about here, the most important part is material flow. So how that material is flow is there from raw material to cutting machine to turning machine, threading, one part is ready. Second part, again from raw material, cutting to the drilling, after drill, again internal threading, part is ready. First part and second part you require to assemble. So whatever this material flow is there from raw material to the assembly, so that material flow also you have to mention. That means material will go first to this machine, then after this operation it will go to this machine, after this it will go to this third machine, like this. At the same time you require to give their time also. Cutting, for cutting 10 mm, let's say 11 mm length, but whatever the rod is there, that diameter may be, let's say 10, 20 or 10 mm. So 10 mm rod, if I want to cut on hexa, how much time I require? How much time I should require? So it may be required hardly, I can say 30 seconds or 1 minute, 60 seconds, etc. So 30 seconds, 60 seconds to the particular lathe machine. On lathe machine, how much time I require? Facing 1 minute, turning 3 minutes. So that also we require to maintain here. And here another word is there, minimum back. What is the minimum back? So you might be knowing that rework is there. Some jobs may be we can call it as the required to rework, because some are having defects. Some machine defects may be there, manual defects may be there, inspection defects may be there, etc. So minimum back means once the job is passed from that machine. So if I said that turning operation is over, it doesn't require to take another cut of turning. Turning is over means turning is over. Is it right? If that worker says turning is over and the job is going to the next operation, and next it is found that no, 0.1 or 0.5 mm turning still required, and again if that job is coming to the turning machine, so that back is there, so that is called back. That is called back of the job to the again once operation. So that should not be there, because if that worker has completed that job, turning job, it is sent to the next machine for next operation, but next operation is not done properly because turning is remaining. So when it will come back to turning machine, the worker who is going to take new job, he will not take the new job, he will rework on that job. Is it right? And in that time will be increased. So that is called back. So here we have to develop a material flow in such a way that back operation should not be there, or if it is there, it is minimum one. And for that, last objective is that we are going to improve the layout. So how that layout is improved? Let's talk about the same example. If this is your workshop floor, this is a little bit some area. If you put here cutting machine, so just I will put a box and I will write here cutting machine, C. And whatever the lathe machine is there, if I put the lathe machine on this corner, so I will write here L. Drilling machine is placed here, T. And I will put here threading machine. So only threading is done here. External maybe or internal maybe, what T. So what is our flow is there? Cut the material, go to the lathe machine. From lathe machine, go to the turning machine. Is it right? From cutting machine, for nut, go to the drilling machine, make the drill and come to this side. So why this much travel is required? If this is the shop floor area, why we are keeping the machines in corners? Can we put the machines like this way? So this is the shop floor area once again. Here I will put the cutting machine. C. Immediately I will put here lathe machine L. Immediately here I will put the drilling machine. So let's say D, and here I will put the particular threading machine, internal or external, whatever may be. So immediately part will cut, it will go to the lathe, immediately it will go to here. Part will cut for bolt, it will go to the drilling machine, it will go to the image. So like here travel is less. And whatever this area is there, whatever this much area is there, whatever this area, we can utilize this area for another work, another particular point. So this is called the layout, industrial layout. Which machine should be kept at what location? Is it right? So if you are placing the machines at very long particular points, then the travel between the machine or whatever the job travel is there, that particular time is going to be increased. So we are just finding the particular such a method where this travel is get reduced. Then somebody may ask, sir, what is the what happens if this layout is get changed? Yes, definitely time is saved. Whatever the travel time is there, whatever the part is there, that particular time is get saved. And for a day, you are required to do this particular travel for many times. Is it right? So when you are, why this is possible? Because whatever the products are given to me, that is nut and bolt, I know what operations are required to carry out for manufacturing of this nut and bolt from the raw material. For that operation, which machines are required, and the flow of operation, that is also knowing. When these things are knowing, then we can go for improvement in layout or smoothness of material flow, etc. Any doubt in this? Any doubt in this part, Rishikesh?
No, sir.
Okay. So this is called the objectives of the method study. Then scope of the method study. By doing this method study, what happens or where it is this method study can be done. Somebody may think that it is only done in the workshop or shop floor, etc., where such machines are there. No, you cannot limit the scope of the method study only to the particular workshop. But here it is written. So scope of the method study is not applicable only for manufacturing field, but also to the service sectors like offices, banks, hospitals, and all other organizations. Is it right? So whenever we are going to the banks, different counters are there. Let's say deposit counter, withdrawal counter. Is it right? One window counter. Is it right? Or another counters may be there. Loan counters may be there. Agriculture loans, home loans. So if you look at the counter management in banks, you might be observed that the withdrawal and deposit, that two windows are most of the time it is near to each other. This is my experience. What is your experience? Can anybody explain? Can anybody explain?
Sir, repeat once.
In banks, when you go, the withdrawal and deposit counters and withdrawal counters, they are near to each other. Or it is like that at one corner of the bank, deposit corner is there, and at the one end of the bank, withdrawal corner is there.
No, sir. Both are at single space.
Both are at single space or near to near. Why this is there? Can anybody tell me? Why this is there? Anybody, can anybody tell me?
For minimizing the unusual movements.
Yeah, so minimizing the unusual movements of the money. Because if I deposit today, let's say I have went to the bank and I deposit 5,000 rupees to my account. Yes, my balance is increased. 5,000 is deposited to my account. But whatever the money I have deposited, that means whatever the notes I have deposited, it can be given to the other customer. If somebody want to withdraw 5,000 rupees from his account, the cashier will not go to the, I can say in the treasury. He will give my notes. No, this is Bhosle sir's note. Keep in the treasury. And let's say Rishikesh is coming. Give me the another notes from Rishikesh bundle. So it is not like that. Whatever I have deposited 5,000 rupees, if Rishikesh went there after 10 minutes or after 1 hour and he want to withdraw 5,000, immediately he can give the same notes to him, whatever I have deposited. Is it right? And if these two counters are at two corners of the bank, what happens? From deposit side notes, we have to require to travel to the withdraw side counters. And unnecessarily flow will be increased. Is it right? So that's why in banks, if you look at depository counters and withdraw counters, these are very close to each other. Is it right? So immediately through that particular sections, immediately money can be handled out. If you are going to offices, different offices are there, corporate offices may be there, then government offices may be there. So they are, whatever their sitting arrangement is there, whatever their counters are there, they are in a particular, we can call it as the, in particular manner, in particular method. If you are going to the hospitals, at the entry of the hospital, can you find the operation theater?
No, sir.
Why? Operation theater is the one of the major part of the hospital, no?
Yes, sir.
Then why it is not there at the entry? What is there in the hospital? When you enter into the hospital, what is there at gate or what is?
Some sitting arrangements are there.
Some, yes, and then
Counter.
which counter we can call it as? Which counter we can call it as? Reception counter, correct, Shubham? Reception counter, some sitting arrangement is there. Near to that, some offices are there where we can give the bills, etc. Then next to that, some doctors' cabins are there, consultants' cabins are there. Where is operation theater?
At a place where is no any.
Yeah, that at a place where a common man should not go easily. Is it right? Little bit backside. Then admit wards. These are again at different sides. ICUs again, we can call it as the general ward and ICUs. These are not at single place. If ICU is at first floor, second floor, single general ward may be at first floor. Is it right? So like this, the arrangement was made. And this is because of the method study. Why? Let's say hospital is there and that hospital has, let's say, 4 floors. 4 floors are there: ground floor, first floor, second floor, third floor, and fourth floor. So what is expected for you that these particular facilities should be at 4th floor? Or let's say I will ask another question. 4 floor are there: ground floor, first, second, third, and fourth. Where the general ward will be there?
Near at first and second.
It may be at first or it may be at second. Why? Can anybody tell me why? Why that general ward is not at the 4th floor?
Because the patients are in general ward are not that much important. They have a quickly discharge moment.
Yes. The general ward peoples are cured people within 1-2 days they are getting the discharges, and the again crowd in general ward is little bit more. Crowd I can call that the more people are there in general ward. Then in ICU there are little bit less peoples as compared to general ward, and in oxygen ICUs or where the oxygen is required or very critical patients are there, these are very less peoples, and the people who are coming to visit these peoples are again that number is less. So if you put the fourth general ward on the fourth floor, what happens? Many people are going on top floor, many people are coming to down floor. So each ward, first floor, second floor, third floor, maybe get disturbed. Instead of that, if you put the general ward on first floor, people will come easily, people will go downside easily. Then little bit critical, like ICU patients, maybe you can keep on third floor. Second floor may be kept for all operation theaters and we can call it testing something labs over, etc. And on the fourth floor, you can keep the critical patients who's required some silent zone where the oxygen facilities may be required, etc. And then in that case, what happens if 1,000 people are visiting daily to that hospital? 800 people will go to the up to first floor only, and from first floor 800 people will go back. Next 100 people may go to the third floor, that ICU patients, and only 100 people may go to the fourth floor, that very critical patients. So that particular part we are considering here, where people are flowing much more. Is it right? Where people are flowing much more. So again, if I shift to the bank, withdraw counter and deposit counter. In front of withdraw counter and deposit counter, whether large space is provided or very small space is there. Can anybody tell me? In banks, in front of withdrawal counters and in front of depository counters, whether large space is provided or very small space is provided?
Small space, sir.
Small space. In SBI,
Large space, sir.
large space. Birazar is correct. If you go in SBI, if you go in Bank of Baroda, in any bank, if you go in front of that deposit and withdraw counters, long space is provided because people are standing there in queue. If you provide the small space, there will be the crowded part will be there, or some more crowds will be coming in small spaces. Instead of that, if you go in such a banks and just ask the persons, I want to meet home loan areas. So in home loan area, 2-3 persons can sit easily, because when we go to the banks, home loan is not the such a case that within 5 minutes I will discuss, I want home loan and immediately I will come back. Is it right? When I went to the home bank for I'm going to take the home loan, I will understand their terms and condition, what documents required, what property I'm going to purchase, what is the cost, everything I want to discuss in detail. So whenever you are going in such a cases in a bank, you will find that there is chairs are arranged, you will get some water, etc. The person who is dealing with you is telling you everything in detail. He will give some forms, etc. like this. Is it right, Rishikesh? Is it right, Birazdar?
Yes.
Birazdar?
Yes, sir.
And what is happening in withdrawal and depository counters? Can anybody give you water?
No, sir.
No.
Can anybody give you some forms? Can anybody explain you where to write what, how this form is filled, etc.?
No, sir.
Where these forms are there? Deposit slip or withdraw slip, where these forms are there?
Where the passbook is printed, that area.
That area that is hanged with some bar or something with some rope, etc. Is it right? We have to go and we have to take it, pull it back, we have to pull it and we have to fill at our own, and we have to, so like this. So always these banks, hospitals, they are thinking which facility you are going to use, and according to that, that location has been finalized. So this method study is not only limited to manufacturing, it is not only limited, that is our point we are discussing, but in detail we are going discuss here a little bit. That is our point, that how that method study is useful for banks, hospital, for other things also, because this particularly is not only limited to manufacturing industry. This machine kept in this corner, this machine is kept in this one. No, it is not like that. While designing, while creating our home, while when you purchase the home, we are thinking in such a way that we should enter into the hall. We should then near to hall that kitchen is there, near to hall that bedroom is there, or toilet, bathroom. Is it like that? Somebody's home you entered and immediately you entered in the kitchen directly?
No, sir.
Because also when we build the house, we are keeping this thing into mind, that they should come in the hall. Hall is like this. In the hall, TV, then couch or some chairs may be kept. Then behind that kitchen is there. Some part of the kitchen is not, means it is open. Some part is not open. There may be entry. You can put the entry anywhere. But that is the method where to put what. So this is not only limited to manufacturing, this is not only limited to industry, but this method study can be applicable to each and everywhere. In schools also, in colleges also. The whatever the offices are there, it is at the ground floor. Principal cabin where always people are coming, always things are there. First year departments where always parents are coming, lot of students are coming. These are at ground floors. Then specialized department, limited numbers are there. These are at upper side. So if you look at to each and every thing, that not only our college, you can check any college, your 11th, 12th college also, you can imagine where is our principal cabin, where is our office, where is our class. So like this, the things are there. So that is what we can call it as a method study. What to put where in a particular area, in a particular facilities, what to put where, that is called the particular method study. And we have to design in such a way that it is easily accessible. Is it right? It is easily accessible. Scope of the method study is making the improvements in where we can make the improvements. Manufacturing operations, yes, definitely in manufacturing operations we can make the improvement. Then work method and process, yes, work method and processes are there, where what are the processes we are using, we can make the improvement in that particular process. What are the working methods are there, so we can easily track that particular working method, lacuna in the particular that working method, and we can improve that working method. What are processes we are following, what are the flow path chart is there, that also we can improve. Then workman material movement, this is again important part, how the material is moving from one part to another point. So in that case also we can make for this particular method study with minimum backtracking. So minimum should be come back, maximum should be go forward. So like this method study can be there. Then effective utilization of tools and gauges. So whatever the tools required for that particular, we can call it as a machine, whatever the repair tools, whatever the maintenance tools, etc. So let's say lathe machine is there, and near to lathe machine, if you put the tools of the drilling machine, is it favorable? Is it favorable? If you put the drilling machine tools or drill tools near to the lathe machine, is it favorable? And whatever the lathe machine single point cutting tools are there, it is placed at somewhere else.
No, sir.
Why?
They consume time to pick
Time.
up.
That is what I want to say. If lathe machine single point cutting tools are there, if it is placed anywhere, and another tools are kept near to the lathe machine, and I'm working on lathe machine, then I require lathe machine tools only. I doesn't require drilling tool, or I doesn't require milling tools. And if lathe machine tools are kept somewhere long side, I will go there, I will bring that tool, and I will put, again I will check whether this tool is suitable or not, like this. So effective utilization of tools and gauges. So gauges are there, some vernier calipers, micrometer, what some go no go gauges are there. So what you require to check that particular job, what tools you require to check the length, some, let's say vernier is there, check the length, diameter, etc. So that part, that equipment should be near to that machine. That is what we are taking care here. It is not like that every time we are keeping the tools or equipment in somewhere locker, and just every time we are going to locker and come back with the tool, and immediately after checking we are going to back again and put it there. So no, like it is not there. Material handling equipment and way to handle it. How that material handling system should be there. How you can handle the material from uh, means loading, unloading part. So unloading, let's say you have received the raw material at the gate of the company, at the gate of the organization. From that gate of the organization, the raw material is received, entered into the raw material section or stock, then kept in the storage. From storage, how it is handled, how it is moved forward. So that handling system is required, handling equipments are required. You might be knowing that in many industries that upper head cranes are there. Is it right? In some industries that roller chains are there, rollers are there, chains are there, on which we can put the material, it will go to the next machine, etc. So like this, that particular path also we have to think. Improve labor efficiency. Labors, that is worker. Workers, if they will go for chit chatting, they will not working on the machine effectively. Then that time is also we can call it as the ineffective time, unproductive time. Let's say worker is working for 8 hours, you are giving the salary of 8 hours, but that is not working for 8 hours. It is working for only 4 hours, and 4 hours is chit chatting, tea time or lunch time or some, like this he is taking time pass. So within 4 hours, how he can improve the, how he can give the production of 8 hours. So we have to motivate the laborers, we have to increase the production, we have to improve the unproductive time. So in industrial area, you might be knowing that certain sounds are coming after some time. Is it right? So at 8 o'clock, that we can call it as in Marathi, bonga wazala. So the shifts are going to be changed. So that means up to that sound, we cannot go out of this industry, or we cannot enter. Like this, the things are there. So labor efficiency, lot of are there to talk about, but that is also helpful. That is also possible with the method study. Reduce the monotony in respective activities. So what respective activities are there? So that is also we have to think. And reduction in cost by reducing the cycle time. So if cycle time is reduced, we can reduce the cost, we can increase the profit. So just so these are the we can call it as the scope for method study. That means in this area we can apply the method study, and we can improve the performance, we can improve the productivity, and at last in terms we can improve the particular cost, or we can improve the profit, reduce the cost of the material product, but increase the profit. These many areas are there, we can use the method study. Then this is the already we have discussed work study procedure, or that is the similar to the method study procedure. First is the select any process which we want to improve. record the particular process. Record the process means record at what each operation is started, at what each operation is ended. Examine where the delays are there, the particular unproductive time is there, unnecessary time is used. So examine such points in the particular process. Develop the process. So whatever the study you have carried out, based on that study, you can develop the process, you can change the certain operations, etc. After developing, measure it, whatever the change is there, whatever the change you have suggested, whether that change is effectively, we can call it as the effectively working there or not, or any some again small changes are required. So ensure, measure whatever the reduction in time you want to there, or a reduction in unproductive time is there, whether it is done or not. Measure it. If small changes are there, make it again, measure it. Once it is up to the mark, then define that process from start to end without missing a single point. Without missing a single point, define that process. After that, install that process, start application of that particular process, and after application, maintain that process for longer time. Here, once whatever this particular flowchart is there, or whatever these steps are there, in this particular, whatever the start point is there, selecting the process. So for that, we require to, if on shop floor 10 processes are there, we must know all 10 processes. Then you can select one of the process which we can develop. And after rest of the things, when you reach to the end point, maintain whatever the changes you had done in the previous process, that changes we require to maintain for longer time, or whatever the changes are there, it may, that changes may be permanent changes. Then and then, whatever this work study is there, whatever this method study is there, it is become effective. If today you have select one process, you have made recording, you have examined it, you found out some false points where to improvement can be done, you have developed a new process, you have measured it, you find that it is effective, unproductive time is reduced, you have defined it very well, you have installed, you have implemented that particular process nicely. But after few days, after 1 week, after 1 month, you cannot maintain it. Again, it is coming to the first process or first stage. That means before developing whatever process is there, again it is coming back to that. Then whatever your implemented process is there, for that 2-3 hours or 2-3 weeks or 1 week, 1 month, for that only that process will be applicable, and it doesn't give that much good results. Because once you make the changes, when you make the development, that development should be remain constant for longer time. Then and then, whatever the particular effect of that developments are there, it can be seen. That's why first particular stage, that is the selection of process, and last particular point, that is maintain whatever the developed process is there, after installation, maintain it for longer time. That is very, very important. So this is the work study procedure. All of we are knowing. Already we have discussed a lot about this in last lectures. Then we are coming to the recording techniques. So let's start. These are the recording techniques. So in previous we have just seen here, select, record, examine, develop, measure. So here recording techniques, I have selected one process, let's say one process I have selected, then I have to record the particular process. I have selected the nut bolt formation an assembly. That process I have selected. Let's say I have to record this process. How to record? So these are the recording techniques. So what is meant by recording techniques? In order to represent the process, we are using the recording techniques. So whatever the process is there, to represent that particular process, the recording techniques are used. To represent the process means, so let's say cutting is there, turning is there, milling is there. So whatever these operations are there, so how that operations are represented? Operation is going on, delay, traveling. These are again parts are there. So by using different signs, by using different combinations, symbols, we are representing this particular process for recording. Instead of going for detailed description, so turning, if I write there, turning on the lathe machine by using single point cutting tool from 515 to 510 is carried out with 4 cuts of 0.5. Nobody is ready to read this. What is the aim? Aim is that from 515 it should reach to 510. That's it. Whether it is done in 2 cuts, whether it is done in 4 cuts, whether it is done in 6 cuts, nobody want to go in detail for that. To represent that particular, so what is this description I told you? Turning of 515 to 510 by using single point cutting tool in 4 cuts of 0.25 or 0.50 depth of cut at the 1000 rpm, etc. So instead of description, if I just represent the turning operation with symbol from 15 to 10, 515 to 510, the operator will easily understand. Yes, here turning symbol is there. That means we have to go for third turning. So in last in YumCAD, you might be knowing different symbols are using. In assembly sheet, you are using different symbols. Can anybody tell me what is the symbol of? This is the symbol. Just I will draw some symbols on this side. Okay. So what is the symbol? This is the symbol. Can anybody tell me? What is the symbol?
No, sir.
Huh?
Don't know.
You are knowing, you are not knowing what is this symbol? Just a circle and this. This is the
Diameter, sir. Diameter.
diameter. Then what is this symbol is there? Just I am not able to draw the good, but 2 circles are there like this. What is it? If 2 circles are like this, concentric circles, what is this? Or if this is the internal one is, let's say 3/4 circle. What is this? And one more is there. Outer is 3/4 and inner is complete. What is this symbol? What is the symbols?
External threading, internal threading.
Yeah, external threading, internal threading. These 2 concentric circles means you are not knowing. Let's take another symbol. Circle is there in which cross mark is there, and 2 triangles. This side triangle is filled and this side triangle is filled. What is this symbol? Drilling, tapering. Every symbols are there, my friends, in your MDCAD assembly sheets, and you are representing. Have you drawn the sheets this time? I don't know, but symbols are there. Okay, so these symbols we must know, basic symbols at least. Internal threading, external threading, etc. like this. Okay, so if I represent the things with symbols, it is little bit easier to understand what I want to say instead of writing there. Is it right? Because workers are illiterate, they are not knowing the spellings, etc. So they can understand the symbols by their experience, etc. Then I can use different chart, diagrams, models. It will be better for understanding. So instead of that, if just I said the second year result this time is increased, instead of making this statement, if I just plot this particular graph or this particular chart, so this is the particular bar chart. If I draw like this, and just I have given the example here. Here, let's say 21, and this is the 20. This is, I can say 20. Easily you can understand. For academic year 20, there is little bit less result, but for 21 it is increased. Is it right? So by looking at such a diagram, such a symbols, easily we can understand, or the illiterate people can understand very well. Then by using these symbols, chart diagrams, how the particular different charts are used. As per the nature of the product to be studied, recording techniques are classified. So these are the classification. First one is the based on the chart. Different charts we are using, like operation process chart, that is outline process chart. Another name, outline process chart, OPC, or operation process chart. Flow chart, flow process chart. FPC, man, material and machine type. Two-handed chart, multiple activity chart, travel chart. 5 types of charts we can use for represent the recording techniques. Diagrams, flow and sting diagram is there. Template and models are there, and turbo sibling simo chart is there. So that we are going to study one by one. So in this, first let's take the chart, or first we will go for symbols. So what basic symbols we are using? So these are the basic symbols. These 5 symbols are the basic symbols. Whatever the fact recording is there, for that fact recording, whatever the symbols we are using, from that these 5 symbols are very, very important. These are the basic symbols. That is operation. Operation is going. Okay. Operation is yet it is not completed. So that operation is in going condition. It is ongoing stage. So that is represented with the help of circle, simple circle. Then after operation, if you are checking for, let's say, diameter, if you are checking for length, anything, let's say you are using vernier caliper, or we can call it as vernier caliper, and you are using this micrometer or vernier caliper, you are checking the diameter, you are checking the length, you are checking the drill size, the drill hole, etc. So that is, if that particular operation is there, that checking operation is represented with the help of square. The checking operation is represented with the help of square. Then if material is in transportation from one place to another place, if material is flowing from one place to another place, the arrow, the transportation is shown in the arrow, because arrow shows the direction also. Okay, but here in our case, the arrow shows material is in transportation, yet it is not reached to the particular required position. Then capital D represent the delay. Delay means, let's say, turning machine to drilling machine, that material we are required to transport. Turning operation is going on. After turning, it is going to reach to the drilling machine. But drilling operation yet not started, because from turning not a single piece is given to drilling. Then drilling machine, we are making the symbol D, that the delay for this machine is there. So this particular operation will start after a little bit small time. An inverted triangle, this indicates the storage. So material is in storage condition, it is kept for storage. It is not in operation, it is not in the transportation, it is not in the inspection, but it is storage, it is stored one. These are the 5 symbols are there, basic 5 symbols are there, and we are using these symbols. Okay, so how to use this? So this is the information of operation process chart. But before that, let's take one example. So this is the example of axle and nut production. Okay, how that symbols are used. So that's why I'm giving this example. Whatever the, again, this timings etc are there, that we will learn afterwards. But just to check, here I have used a circle. Here I have used a circle. What it represent? It represents turning operation. Roll number 10. Don't make any scratch. Recording is going on. Huh? So here
So,
remove this.
mistake.
Okay. So what is there? Turning operation is there. So what turning operation tells me? Turning operation tells me that the operation is in going. So the turning operation is represented in the circle. It is represented in the circle. So this operation is going on. After that operation, the box is there. Whatever number is written in that box, we will see later. Okay, what box is there? What it box indicate? Box indicate that inspection is there. So whatever turning, after turning, whatever the diameter is there, whatever the length is there, that diameter or length inspection is there. After that inspection, again circle is there. That means again turning or facing of the machine head is there. Again inspection is there. Okay, so inspection represented in box and operation represented in a circle. So this is the, we can call it the basic. These are the basic symbols, and it is represented like this way. Then similarly, if you go to the nut side, here also facing, that is operation represented in a circle. Inspection, it is represented in a box. So like this, the things are there. Here I have not shown any time delay or it is in transportation, etc. Is it right? So just I have used the two basic symbols, that operation and inspection. Operation, inspection, operation, inspection, operation. Here assembly is the operation and final inspection. Again it is box. So these are the, we can call it as the operation and inspection, operation and inspection. So like this, the things are there. Okay, so things means, here again I am going to provide you the numbers in that. Okay, so what is the first operation? First operation may be spacing. So facing inspection, when it is carried out, in box I will write 1. Second operation, let's say threading. So threading and threading inspection, that is second operation. Champering is the third operation. But when I am going to make the inspection of champering after turning. So first I will make the champering, then I will turn it, I will cut, I will reduce some diameter, and after that I will make the inspection. After turning, I will prepare the machine head, that with the help of turning, and then for fourth turning, I will make for inspection. I will go for inspection. So like these things are there. That means after which operation is made and which operation inspection is going on, that is also shown here. So first operation is made and first operation inspection is made. Is it right? Second operation inspection. Third operation inspection. Fourth operation inspection. Sixth operation, fifth operation inspection. Sixth operation, final inspection. So whatever may be the numbers may be there, so that number represent the particular which operation is there and what will be the inspection process, or for what that particular process is there, or for what inspection is there, or for what delay is there. So here if I write here, instead of here, if I write here D, and one if I write there delay, what it D indicate? D indicate delay. Delay for first operation, that is facing. So like this the things are there, and it is represented in very simple way. And here you can observe by looking at this chart, those who are knowing what are the symbols are there and how what different operations are there, they can easily read this particular chart. Without writing the detailed explanations, they can read the chart. So this is called the operation process chart. So let's talk about this operation process chart or outline process chart. In operation process chart, major activities and every point of material are recorded for graphical representation of operation and inspection process. So every point we are making the operations and every point we are making the inspection. So it is not like that. So if you are having the experience on lathe machine, after 2 cuts we are taking the vernier caliper and we are making the diameter. Is it right? So that means I am doing the operation and immediately I am making the checking. So if I want to reduce the diameter from 512 to 510, I will take 2 cuts of 512 diameter bar, and immediately I will, with the help of vernier, I will check whether it is 510 or 511, whatever it is, whether I should take next cut or whether I should stop. So like this, the operations are there and the inspection was there. In drilling, I have made the 510 drill. Immediately I will take the gauge and I will just put into the particular drill hole, and I will ensure that whether this drill hole is 510 or 59 or 511. So operation and inspection, this is in process for operation process chart. The chart will give you the overall picture of the process and sequence of operation. So sequence of operation is again important part here. We have to understand what is the sequence of operation. So whenever you are producing any part, for that particular part, which operations are required and what should be the sequence, that we must understand. Let's take the example of bolt. I will draw here lower side what is this bolt. In this bolt, which operations you are going to do first? Can anybody tell me? Which operations you are going to do first? Can anybody tell me?
Turning, sir.
Casing, turning. Okay.
Then threading.
Casing, turning. Then one more step is there. That is step turning. So this is the head. Head is little bit bigger than this diameter. Is it right?
Yes.
Step turning is there. Yes, I will say here. And last threading. Why threading is at last? Can anybody tell me? Why threading will be at last? Why that threading is not at start?
Because we maintain the both diameters,
Both
head
diameter.
and tail.
Okay. Let's say this is the 510. Okay. And I have given you the 510. So I want to produce, let's say, that non-headed bolt. I'll just rub this. I want to produce the non-headed bolt. In that case, like this bolt I want to produce. Can I start with threading operation immediately? Can I start threading operation immediately?
No, sir.
Why? Why, Balaji? You are correct. No, but why? That also we should know. No. You are correct, but why? Can you define, Balaji?
When we are doing first threading, then turning time that threads are removed.
Yeah,
That's why we
that is we know. That should we know, because once threading is done, and if you put this thread into the chuck again, because of that chuck pressure, that thread is going to be damaged. Is it right? That's why we require to go for facing, then turning, and at last, whenever no other operations will be remain, at that time I should go for threading. Otherwise, what happens? If I set the machine for threading, then the particular, after threading, if I go for facing of this side, then I have to put the chuck here. Is it right? Like this, I will put this threaded part into the chuck, and because of this chuck pressure, that holding pressure, whatever these threads are there, these threads may get damaged. It's simple. If I take the example of nut, what is the nut? Let's say this is the nut, and this is the having internal hole and then internal threading. So what will be the operation sequence here? Can anybody define?
Turning, pressing,
Yeah, then
drilling, then threading.
drilling and threading. Because if I put the threading first, where I should make the threads if no hole is there? Is it right? Rather, I can say drilling. After drilling, rimming is there. What is meant by rimming? Rimming is nothing but make the correct size hole. What the correct size hole? Let's say you are having drill of 10 mm and you are having the drill of 12 mm, and you want to go for a drill. You want a drill of 10.5 mm. So how to make the 10.5 mm hole? Because you are having standard size of 510 and then 512. If you use 510, it will become less as compared to the required. If you use 512, it will become more. So 510 drill I will use, and 0.5 mm I will remove with help of rimmer. Or whatever the drilling internal surface is there, that internal surface becomes smooth with help of rimming operation. Is it right? So that sequence of operation we should know very well. Before that, we should know which operations we require to carry out, and in that which operations are required to be carried and in which sequence it should be carried out. Then and then we can able to go for this operation process chart. Because here, if sequence of operation is get changed, then it may create the difficulties. Okay, because some operations we require to carry at earliest, some operations we require to carry at last. So that particular knowledge we must have in the operation procedure. It is represented in vertical straight line. Yes. So how that chart is represented in vertical line only. It is not presented in horizontal line or in so we can call it like some zigzag line, etc. It is straight. It is straight horizontal line. This particular chart can be represented. The numbering given from the beginning of the chart to the end of the chart. So where that chart is started, so whatever may be the first operation, from first operation to the last final operation, numbering is given. So first operation, let's say cutting, facing, turning, step turning, drilling, turning, threading, whatever may be there. So for each operation, we have to give the sequence of numbering 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 like this. While description is given at right hand side of the symbol. So right hand side of the symbol is just right, facing, turning, which operation is there. So just if I write the single one, if I make the round and if I write the one, what is the first operation I should know? So here you have to just write the name of that operation, that is right hand to symbol. Time represented to the left hand side. This is the very important part that is we have missed still now. How much time is required for that operation? 1 minute, 2 minutes. Either you can represent the time in seconds, either you can represent in minutes. Is it right? But don't represent in hours because that much time is not required. If you can represent in seconds or you can represent in minutes, but standard we are representing in minutes. To left hand side, we can represent the time in minutes. Then that this chart will not give place for work and who will perform. So here we are not writing anything about the worker. That means turning, machine A, worker name, Mr. Ashutosh. Machine B, drilling, worker name, Mr. Ramesh. So we are not writing the who is performing or which machine we are performing. Let's say on shop floor, 4 drilling machines are there. Just I will write their drilling. You can perform this operation on any drilling machine. That is not mentioned here. And this chart is the first step to carry the detailed analysis of component or operation. This is the first way to conduct the detailed analysis. Okay, so this particular chart doesn't give all the information, but it gives the all necessary information, all required information. And whatever the chart is represented in front of you, it is in like that only. So this is the chart. So here I want to produce nut and axle. Okay, so what is the nut? MS bar of 15 mm. Okay, then from that I will cut the particular material. So cutting is not mentioned here. Directly facing operation is shown. Facing, first number operation. How much time is required? 2 minutes. That means within 2 minutes your operation should be completed. Then facing. After facing, inspection. What will be the inspection? Whether end is flat or length is required or not. So that for that 1 minute is required. Then go for drilling or threading here. So threading, 5 minutes is required. Inspection, second operation inspection, 1 minute is required. Chamfering, 2 minutes is required. Then turning, 2 minutes is required. Inspection, 1 minute is required. Machining head formation, 5 minutes is required. 5 minute turning is required. Inspection, 1 minute is required. Threading, 5 minutes is required. Inspection, 1 minute is required. Chamfering, again 2 minutes is required. So like this way you can prepare the chart. So middle vertical line represent the process. This is the one example we have taken. How to represent the chart. Vertical straight line example we have taken for operation process chart. Right hand side to this chart we are writing the description. What is there in this particular process? Turning, whether we are doing, if I just write here circle and 4, it indicate what? Fourth operation. But what is the fourth operation? Whether it is turning, whether it is chamfering, whether it is facing, whether it is threading. That's why the description of this operation turning is written. And left hand side to this circle, time required is written 2 minutes. Then after doing this all the operations for axle and nut, last operation is the assembly. Assembly, it required 10 minutes. And after assembly, final inspection, it required 1 minute. Okay, so like this, the particular chart is mentioned, chart is prepared. And what is the use of this chart? If someone asks me, just I will go to the next. Here some transportation delay is there, and here we can identify the, yes, we can identify like this. Which symbols are used, how much time is required, and what is the total time. So total time of this particular operation, how much is the total time? 2 minutes plus 1 minute, 3 plus 5, 8 plus 1, 9, 11, 11 plus 2, 13, 14, 19, 20, 25, 26, 27, 28, 38, 39. So 39 minutes are required for this particular process. That means when you start this particular process, after 39 minutes, you will be get one particular axle and nut final assembly product. So like this, the things are there. Like this, the things are mentioned. And by this, we can understand what operation is going on, for what time it is there, how much time is required for this particular operation, how much time is required for this particular operation, what will be the total time, which processes I am using, how many times I am doing the operations, how many times I am inspecting the things. Is it right? So this is a simple operation process chart is there, in which we are not considering the any delay, we are not considering the machine is material is in traveling condition from one machine to another machine, because to travel the part from one machine to another machine, again some time is required, at least 2 3 4 seconds, 10 seconds, 1 minute, half minute, whatever may be required. So that will also be included in the manufacturing total time of the particular part. So this is the simple first operation process chart. Up to this, any doubt is there? Okay, Shubham. Then we are going to the next part, that is the flow process chart. So flow process chart, it is the identification of sequence of work of product part. Okay, it is the extension of the operation process chart. So whatever the operation process chart we have seen now, it is the extension of that, in which operations, inspection, storage, delay and transportation are represented. Most of the time in first operation process chart, we are using only two symbols, that is operation and inspection, and what are the other symbols are there, storage, delay and transportation, these are used in flow process chart. Flow process chart can be of three types. Man type represent the activity of man, material type represent the movement of the material, equipment type use of the equipments in product development, which machine is used, which equipment is used, which material is used, how the material flow is there, material movement is there, and man who is working. So this is the activity, flow process chart represent the man type. So what is the man type? Okay, how if worker is standing on the machine, so what he will do, what activity he should start? First he will receive the goods, the goods which are in transportation from another machine or from storage, he will receive the goods. So first is the goods receiving, so here it is shown in transportation symbol. Then locate the component, he will keep the goods on the machine, he will start some we can call it as loading to the machine, pick up the component. Okay, he will take the goods, he will put on the machine, he will go for fixing it. Then inspection, he will inspect the thing, set the component, visual inspection, measured, record the length, put the inspection record and go to the store again. The worker will receive the goods, he will locate the component, pick up the component, make the inspection at the where he has taken the part, he will inspect there itself, set the component on machine, make the usual inspection, measure the record length, whatever may be, inspection seal he will write and put it into the store. This is the man type. So how persons are working, whether worker is entering in the organization at the gate, whether he will receive the good, no, he has to go to the store or he has to go to the that machine, then he will receive the goods. So that is in transportation. After getting the goods, what he will do, he will measure, he will inspect, he will write the something, record something, the length, diameter, whatever may be the inspection points are there, and after inspection he will seal that inspection report and keep the part in the again store. So in this flow chart, how many symbols are used? That operation symbols, that is in circle, it is used 5 times. Then inspection symbols represented by circle used for one time only here, and transportation symbol is used for 3 times. So here the timing was not given. Okay, timing was not given, how much time is required, but it can be given in the last equipment type where actual part is manufactured. Okay, so this is the material type. Waiting for man, material is waiting for man. So delay. A worker should come here and he should take that material. So material is waiting for man, so delay. Inspection to the department. He take the material and going to the inspection department. So from receiving and going to the inspection department, traveling is required. So it is in transportation. Set the bench. Set on the bench. Part is kept on the that bench where the inspection method is there. Inspection dies are there. Inspection tools are there on that bench. It is part is set. Then go for process inspection with the help of tools or some dial gauge or vernier caliper, whatever may be. Go for inspection. Measure the diameter. Then stamped whatever the inspection report he has made for that material, stamping on that inspection material, etc. So that process is there. Then go to the store. That material is again taking. It is going to the store and keep into the store. So if you look at for this particular man type, 3 symbols are used: operation, inspection, and travel. For material, 4 symbols are used: operation, travel, inspection, and store. And for flow chart, again only 2 symbols are used. So equipment type flow chart is nothing but operation type flow chart. Turning, how many time is required? Inspection, how many time is required? So equipment type flow chart and operational flow chart, these are same one. But there is a difference in material type and man type.